in Surah Luqman 31:6. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ وَيَتَّخِذَهَا هُزُوًا أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. And from the people are who purchase amusing hadith event without knowledge to astray from the way of Allah. What is that amusing hadith? You enjoy reading it, amusingly you enjoy, and it is a purpose is to لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. That is the purpose. That amusing hadith is that you astray from the way of Allah. What is that amusing? I'm asking the ladies and gentlemen from the audience. Which hadith is that you astray from the way of Allah and you are amused by that hadith? What are those amusing hadith? What is that amusing hadith, an event that you read it, you enjoy it, and that is straying from the way of Allah? Only the world in the whole Muslim world. Whenever you read an ayah to anybody, a Quranic ayah, and you try to explain an ayah, the person say, you do not believe in hadith? He himself identify that hadith. He doesn't say you don't believe in Bible, you don't believe in geography or history, or you don't believe in the event that took place in that event that took place. You don't believe in the events. He referred to only one hadith in the whole world, in the Muslim world, label world. He only refers to one particular hadith against an ayah, always an ayah. Whenever the ayat is being rehearsed to somebody, he will refer to a hadith. I gave you in the beginning, the Quran is a furqan, a criteria to govern the hadith. So if an ayah is being recited in front of you, you understand the ayah and you can govern an hadith. Like just now I recite, just previously I recite about the wives of the Prophet. Say, do not socialize with the wives of the Prophet. Right? I read an ayah. And if somebody recite an hadith with the wives of the Prophet, do you think I will listen and believe? I will not believe. I will never ever believe. This is the ayat is telling me that Allah said, do not socialize with the wala musta'anisin li hadith. Wala musta'anisin li hadith. That do not, that's the wives of the Prophet, referring to the wives of the Prophet. So that is the basic belief I have understood from the ayat of the Quran. Now same ayat is saying that what is that amusing hadith that is brought forward in front of the man to astray from the path of Allah. The moment you recite an ayah, he says, you cannot understand this ayah until you know the hadith. What happened? Immediately the word hadith is brought forward and there is nothing, and believe me in the audience, I challenge in the audience, I urge every human being who is a Muslim should read the hadith. I urge, do not speak on hadith without reading it. There are majority of the world who are believing in just the word hadith. I am asking, after this lecture, you read the Quran and you must read the hadith. Don't say, I have not read the hadith. I am honestly telling you, I have not read any hadith. Except few, after that I stopped. That is my stand. But I will urge those who are say they are arguing with me, they must read it first. They must have the courage to speak the truth that we have read all the hadiths. There are 6 volumes of the Sunnis and there are maybe more than 4 or whatever the Shia sects. Must read it first. Read the Quran, read the hadith, then talk about it. Not like that you don't believe the hadith. So that is why I am telling you, just the word hadith is brought forward. Just the word hadith is brought forward. Nobody has read the hadith except the few scholars of one particular school of thought. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ, without knowledge. They have purchased this hadith without knowledge. They don't have knowledge. بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ, without, and the purpose is to stray from the way of Allah. That is the main issue. So that people should stray from the way of Allah. That you can never ever understand the Quran until you understand and read the hadith. Read the hadith. Remember, I'm not denying that, I'm asking you to read it. I'm telling you, those people who are ignorant, they're without knowledge. Allah said, without knowledge you're doing it. You must have the knowledge of the hadith and then tell me which ayah is explaining that, which ayah Allah is explaining in the hadith is explaining that ayah. No hadith is explains any ayat. All the ayahs confirm the hadith, all the ayahs reject the hadith. That is the status of the Quranic ayats, not explanation. The behavior of the person who believe in that hadith, that event,